My presentation is on New Caledonian Crow tool use. So first of all, I wanted to give a brief introduction on where these crows are from. So they're from an island right off the coast of Australia, and have been known to use tools like thin sticks and twigs to root out prey items in trees. So I wanted to look at tool use specifically because it used to be seen as a uniquely human trait, one of the things that we would define ourselves by. And then as we learned more about primates, it became a trait that was sort of for humans and for our close relatives. And I wanted to look into an incidence of tool use that was sort of outside of our family. I also think that tool use is important because it has implications for cognition and how different species solve problems. So I wanted to look at how tool use could be used to flexibly solve problems and where the root of this behavior comes from. So my research question was, can New Caledonian crows, without exposure to other crows or humans modeling the behavior, still develop tool use? And there you can see a picture of what this would look like in the wild. So to give a brief review, there's a little bit of research about New Caledonian crows and how they use tools. They can use novel tools to do things like retrieve an object and then carry it using that tool. They can, again, use it for food. They also have been known to judge the problem and then put together different types of tools in order to solve the problem the best way possible. Like you may have heard of studies with monkeys that put something out of the range of their arms and also of the tool that they gave them until they compounded tools together and created a new thing. Also, New Caledonian crows can solve this Aesop's fable puzzle that is shown in the picture, but not as well as human children. So they can displace water and retrieve whatever is floating at the top of it, but they aren't always able to distinguish the best way to do that. So they might pick up a hollow object instead of a solid one, which wouldn't help them retrieve the food item at all. And in general, New Caledonian crows show intense curiosity towards new objects and explore a lot in general. So my methods were to take captive newborn Caledonian crows and split them into two groups. One group that was raised with a group of adult crows and that also display the tool use behavior, and the other would be raised with each other only. Both of the groups would have similar naturalistic enclosures and similar exposure to humans, and then both of them would have the sort of experimental log, which is a log with a notch cut out, and then that side replaced with plexiglass, where a live larva would be dropped inside, and it would be out of the range of their beaks, so they would need to figure out how to use a tool in order to retrieve the prey item. Cameras would then record the baited log, measuring the time until juvenile crows first attempt to retrieve a larvae from the log, and as their first successful attempt. So I predict that both groups of crows will display tool use, but that crows raised with adults will attempt to use tools sooner and will be successful in using their tools sooner. So these predicted results would indicate that tool use is definitely impacted by modeling and learning, but is not the only reason that it occurs. So it indicates that there is some sort of phylogenetic reason that New Caledonian crows use tools in general. And it also indicates that crows might be able to apply tool use to a wider range of problems than what is given in this discussion, this research proposal. And then there are my references.